Hello everyone, and Kevin. I see you, Kevin. We have the first hotfix of the season sprinkled down onto us by the iRacing gods. So we're going to jump in and see what we got. Some of y'all already know, of course, what's in the hotfix, because these videos come out a little bit after it goes live. But so, if you know, don't spoil it. All right, no spoilers. Nobody likes that. So everybody else, we will go through together and see what we got here. So for the iRacing UI paint shop, got some new sponsors, Tech and Next Level Racing. Under the simulation for AI Racing, AI drivers have received additional training entering the pits at the Sebring Club layout. Under graphics, a fix has been applied for an issue where the environment map for cars and some other objects would stop updating and therefore not update for any sky lighting changes when using a camera outside of the car cockpit, with the number of dynamic cube maps set to 0. Okay, and fix an issue with SMP, SPS, and animated characters at tracks where a speed tree is utilized. I have no idea. Those were certainly words. I don't think those apply to me. If those apply to you, well, your issue is fixed. For hosted AI racing, an icon has been added to the InSim helmets to indicate which drivers are AI. Some lighting settings have been adjusted to subtly reduce the warm hues seen in daytime lighting. Race servers fixed an issue that could cause race servers to crash. I wonder if that's maybe the issue we were having last week. I know in NIS, about 3 people, including our own Caressel, so it dropped out at pretty much the same time. And even last night, I actually had a Q-bar issue that I hardly ever have. I can count on one hand how many Q-bar issues I've had. Luckily, I didn't drop out, but I don't know. I wonder if this is related to that. Hopefully that's some stability that we have back. Fix an issue that could cause human players to be assigned to an AI team, causing the AI host to crash to desktop. That's hilarious. Rallycross, increase the grip levels of Rallycross dirt slightly. This should return it to the grip level experienced before this season. Spotter radio audio filter has been applied to the new Italian spotter package samples. Right, cars. For the BMW M4, material assignment has been updated for a screw on the front fender grille. The Dallara F3, the UI model, should now have a steering column again. The IndyCar, the IR18, the new one, adjusted parameters for tires used at Motegi and Darlington and iRacing setups updated. The new Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo, custom paints. Some decal UVs have been adjusted to prevent them from bleeding onto the rear wing. Fix an issue where tires would become translucent in smoke. Fix the look of some mirror mount screws. Fix the pit board and spec air and some textures. So a lot of cars have just had iRacing setups updated. I'm not really going to mention those. Global Mazda MX-5 Cup cockpit textures have been updated. I actually did a little, I spectated a cup race last night at Road America. I wanted to see how much fuel I needed because I might do a couple this week. So I wonder what they've updated on the textures there. What I like about the Mazda is something I just noticed, I think a couple days ago. When they get side damage, the mirror, instead of falling off, the mirror actually hangs on the car. I like that. I don't know why. For the Cup Camaro Zl1, the current gen Cup Camaro, audio has been updated to be less muffled when above 6,500 RPM. For the next-gen cars, the rub block collision system has been adjusted to improve interaction with ground contact. I know that no one from iRacing knows who I am, and that's okay. But if someone manages to see this, can we adjust the force feedback on the next-gen cars? Because I have to crank mine up every time I get in this car. And then I always forget to turn it back down. And then I get in the next car, and it's like I got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger to drive the car. So I know a lot of people complain a lot about the next-gen stuff, which isn't all iRacing's fault. That's just next-gen things. But the one thing iRacing, please up the force feedback strength for those things. Alright, for the new Porsche, we got the 911 GT3 Cup 992. So they've updated some setups with track-specific setups. Alright, so anyway, the vertical size of the stamp name has been reduced, so some letters aren't cut off. External shift lights should now better match the in-car shift lights. Steering wheel buttons are now textured properly when using the static steering wheel option. Fixed an issue where the InSim display name for this vehicle was incorrect. Pedal animations should no longer jump to no travel when the pedal is pressed to full travel, and the side windows have been remapped to allow flag graphics to be placed in the B pillar per Super Cup rules. In the Porsche 919, the digital dash should now exist again when using the static steering wheel setting. For the Skippy, driver shake animations have been tuned to be less shaky. For the Spec Racer, the F8 black box has been updated to ensure all text is visible. For the street stock, drivers once again use the proper helmets in this car. For the super late model, more appropriate tires should now load at road and dirt road courses. For the Legacy Indy car, the steering shaft should now only exist in the proper location. And for the NASCAR COT, a control statement has been stabilized. What? Alright, tracks. For Barber, a gap filler model has been added to help hide seams in the world. For Five Flag Speedway, the main grandstand should now continue to exist at low settings. Alright, Hungary Ring, new track. They've done a few things already. Numbers on Marshall posts should have less Z-fighting. Added a pyramid curve between the pillows at turn 6. The pit wall has been adjusted to properly meet the asphalt. Tree textures and models have been updated. Weather information has been updated to bring wind speeds into a reasonable range. I wonder if that... Wait, week 13, there was a series at Hungary Ring with the Ferraris, and the wind was like 30 miles an hour in every session. I thought it was intentional. Maybe that was an accident. Some terrain edges have been smoothed out. Bumps in turn 2 and 11 have been smoothed out. Paddock and garage areas have been updated. Main entrance area has been updated. Flags have been added around the track. Some sunken elements have been raised to the terrain level, and some floating elements have been lowered to the terrain level. Start lights have been added. Objects that fill holes in the terrain mesh, such as tunnels, curves, and walls, should now never disappear, even with low rendering settings. Race marshal huts have been deployed. Flaggers have been added. A pair of bumps on the front stretch have been smoothed. Fixed the development environment loading air at this track. Adjusted some track surface bumps. Banner flags have been added. Flag booths have been updated. And a pillow curve is added to the chicane. Wow, they did a lot. Alright, so Laguna Seca, Lime Rock, Okayama, Oran Park, Alton Park, they all have a gap filler model that's been added to help hide seams in the world. Mount Panorama, some signs have been updated. Alright, Road Atlanta. New buildings have been added to the track. Lighting has been updated, and a number of areas in this track is now ready for night racing. A gap in the pit wall has been filled. Various wall end caps have been added. And then finally, for Summit Point and for Tsukuba, a gap filler model has been added to help hide seams in the world. I've noticed lately, and I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the seams have been way more noticeable at a lot more tracks where it doesn't seem like you used to see them. So I don't know how that happened. Maybe they've always been there and I was just blind, but I don't know. I see a lot more seams than I used to, so it's nice that they're addressing that. And that is it for this hotfix. Pretty decent. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Please like, favorite, subscribe, rate 5 stars, hit up the OnlyFans, and take it easy.